gods descending to earth, converging on the same hallowed ground. A holy shrine built to mark the landing of a meteorite. And sacred caves whose walls are lined with images of strange, half-human beings. Are holy sites around the world the product of man's reverence for God? Or are they the result of contact with ancient space travelers?
There's no question that these monuments might have had some kind of ET intervention. They're just too immense, too perfect to be constructed by ancient mankind.
Yes, it was human beings who built this place, but with the technology given by extraterrestrials.
Millions of people around the world believe we have been visited in the past by extraterrestrial beings. What if it were true? Did ancient aliens really help to shape our history? And if so, how did they influence the creation of mankind's sacred places? It is perhaps the most sacred site in all of humanity. The place where three of the world's most prominent religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, all converge. It is the heart and soul of what is called the Holy Land. Temple Mount, Old City, Jerusalem. And this 35-acre plateau, surrounded by ancient walls, has been considered sacred for thousands of years.
The Temple Mount is sacred to Jews and Christians because it's at this spot that Abraham bound Isaac and prepared to sacrifice him in Genesis 22. For Muslims, this site is sacred because it's from the rock, where the Dome of the Rock today stands, that Muhammad ascended into heaven.
What we have on the Temple Mount really is a mixture of three religions, and each one of them has got an aspect to it which makes the place even more important. But in origin, really what we have is a place where God touched down on planet Earth. And ever after, this is the place where communications with the afterlife or the divine realm is to be made.
Each year, millions of pilgrims come to Temple Mount to worship God and celebrate holy occasions. But why? In the 10th century BC, King David and the Israelites chose this rocky high ground to build a great temple.
This was the site that David, the great king of Israel, had conquered. And so it already had a kind of a blessing about it, because this was where the people of Israel were destined to center their lives, in this sacred kind of place.
According to the Bible, King David, who had just made Jerusalem his capital, wanted to build in it a house for the Lord. But for reasons that aren't entirely clear, he didn't do so, and it was his son Solomon who built the first Jewish temple.
Completed in 950.